Hi everyone, this is Allison and welcome to All One Sun. All One Sun means simply that we are all one from one energy. Okay, and like it says, like in my country where I'm from, it says from one comes all. Something like that. I don't think I say it right, but anyway. So the topic today is oneness. And I want to talk about just something briefly before I go into the whole oneness thing, and that is that um, we're all we're all created from the same source, whether we believe it or not. And this topic is mostly geared towards people of color. I say the aboriginal or Aboriginal, like like you say aboriginal, it's aboriginal. Anyway, so I don't like to say the word black, and I don't like to say the word African American because that's what they labeled us. And black is actually the word. That's how they labeled everybody that was slave. They gave them the name black. That was a title of being. Okay, so yeah, black is just being the title of being a slave. So, African American, I don't know when they decided, but it wasn't us. It was them that decided to give us the name African Americans. And they made a whole marketing campaign about that. They had celebrities start saying that, and that's so. No, I don't know the reason what came into that, why they wanted us to name ourselves of African American instead of actually for the fact that we're actually most of us was originated here in America. Maybe they wanted to get away from that fact. I don't know because people were um, waking up and finding that out. So they always try to get ahead of everything. Now, what a lot of people don't understand, and I'm just going off on that for a little bit here because um, um, we, as the Aboriginal people, are we're here first. I think science has already proved that now. We know that we're here first. Okay, and guess what? We were here and in almost every corners of the earth. So while most black people are focusing on one part of the world saying, oh, we're from Africa, guess what? We are from Earth. The whole planet is ours. We were here first. We were on every piece of the earth. So why are we just saying that we're from Africa when everything we were from? We've lived everywhere. Just now that the lands are broken up, and now you have mostly people living over here, but blacks live in all these countries. Okay, some of them were already there. We were already here when they came. Okay, you go to Africa, it's a continent. So you go to Africa, and most people, when you ask them where you're from, they're gonna say Nigeria, Ghana. They're not gonna say Africa. The only time I've actually heard them say Africa is when I ask somebody where are you from. They always say where they're actually from in Africa. But if I don't know where it is, they'll say, oh, it's an area in Africa. It's a place in Africa. That's what they say to me. Okay, and that's been my experience with people who are actually that we know that are actually from Africa. And the reason why I say black is a title is because anyone can say that they're white. Anyone. It's not just a color. Yes, people who are naive to what black really means, they see you as a color and they see you black, so you're black. However, it's a status. The name black is actually referred, it's a label and it's a status. Here's a perfect example. A professor from Egypt who no doubt, because there are people of color in Egypt. They were the first ones, they were there. But most people think of when Egyptians, they think of people now, they think of people who look more Arabic. Okay? So he's a person of color who's from Egypt, and he's a professor, and he wanted to use the title of that he's black, and he says, no, you're not, you're white, because title white is a privileged title. Hello, while title black is a slavery, non-privileged title. I hope some of you are getting this. So most people who are black, some people who are black and know this, this is why they say, when they say, and a lot of us got so upset at some of these black celebrities who say, no, I'm not black, because they know the truth. Okay, anyway, so, but I think a lot of people, more people of color are waking up to that now and not wanting to call themselves black. It's like almost like the same thing like calling yourself nigger. It's no difference in a way. I go there because we have to understand that these are things to divide us. These are things to separate us. I know you hear a lot about the elites, or the shadow government, if you hear about them, the deep state. And these are people who have taken our knowledge, taken the knowledge that is true, that we have known for years, and they have suppressed our knowledge, okay? And they now have taken that knowledge and used against us, okay? Now, the knowledge that we know, it's still within us. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there. But we need to wake up. We need to free our mind and understand really what. Now, the Bible, I know a lot of black people are waking up to the whole thing with the Bible, and they start, some of them are coming away from the Bible, or you hear this push to come away from the Bible, to come away from the Bible. There's still a lot of really good information, even though the Bible is made up of a mixture of paganism and Hebrew. Because back then, when the Hebrews and the pagan had lived in Spain together, they wanted, and there was this whole thing about religion. They came up with this great idea to merge them together, and that's when Constantine got all his priests and stuff like that, except for the Hebrew priests, together, and came up with what they were going to put in the Bible, because they wanted to blend the both religions together. And now we have all the stuff, and we have Christmas, and we have well, Christmas does come a little bit later on, but so now we have the mixture of paganism and a thing there. So now we're worshiping their God pretty much, and because they're all into the solstice and things of that nature, and that's bad, but that's another story. But mainly is that we're all one. We're here as one beings, fighting like crazy, because there is an agenda to divide us, because someone wants to control us. Okay? A small minority of people want to control us. And it's not just black people, it's black and white, but they want to separate the black and the white together, because the blacks look more like, I think, them. Supposedly that's the nature. So, but they have infiltrated our whole society. They have infiltrated our government of the United States, everything. I mean, the story is so deep that I don't even want to go into the story right now. That's another topic. I don't even want to go. My focus right now is that we are one. Okay? Now, and what I mean by we are one, I'm going to say this again, is that the trees, the lizards, everything that is created came from one source. Now, everybody, everybody's saying darkness and light, but to be honest, darkness is a wonderful thing. Now, here's this thing in here. It says, and I have this on here because it says, but suppose God is black. What if we go to heaven and we all our lives have treated the Negro as inferior? And God is there and we look up and he's not white, what then is our response? Now, this is not just for black people. Anyone can learn from this, but both sides have to be able to know the truth of each side and be okay with that and move on. And come to the underlying truth is that no matter what little differences that we have more in common than we think, and that is that we're all one. Okay? The stones, the rocks, the everything, even the car that we make, when we think we made, it's all one. Everything is made from the same energy. Nothing can be created here without it coming from source energy. Nothing. It's all. It cannot be unless it is through source energy. Okay? No matter if you change it, you made steels and you made this and we made it by hand and we created a vehicle, it is still from source. It still is source. Okay? And we're fighting. We're all one. Now, here's the idea. The darkness, the thing that we call nothing, that is out there in space, all of it, and I came to this knowledge, I think before I start hearing that scientists are now saying that, oh yeah, that nothing is something. It's actually really powerful energy. So that darkness that's out there is God. All matter, all, what do you call them? Melanin. God, this is the first creation that God made, was light. God wanted to see itself. So that's the first thing God created was light, so it can see itself. Okay? And then from there, it started creating other things to have experience, and so forth and so on, until it expand and having more experience and more experience and more experience, because it crave knowledge, crave experiences, just how we should be. It just craves, it just keeps on growing, and like we should be, keep on growing. And all of us are an extension of that knowledge and of that experience and that power. We're all one. Even the evil that is in the earth, it is still source energy, because nothing can exist. The only difference is that source energy now, love, there's two ruling power, especially here, the duality. There is love and then there's fear. So you're either operating in love or you're either operating in fear. If you are in fear, you hate, you despise, you're angry, you envy, you're always in competition. It's just ego, ego, ego all the way. Okay? You have greed. Love is the opposite. And love is caring, love is giving, love is creativity, love is exploring, love is, oh my gosh, kindness. You just go on. But here's the difference too. Even though we're using the same power, hate or fear is limited. And there's a reason for that. Fear is limited, so it's bound. Once it gets to a certain level, it almost just starts tearing itself down, because it cannot expand any further. It doesn't have that energy to expand any further. So it starts to tear itself down. Okay? While love is, it goes on. It just keeps on going on and on and on and on and creating. Now I saw this guru ask this guy, it says, now after you've gotten everything you want, meaning talking about having like a utopian society, after you having everything that you want and you have everything that you want, where would you go now? The little kid, just he didn't want to say anything. He was just like there was nothing else. Yes, there is. There's a lot more. We keep on expanding. Now you go into transforming yourself from a being into from a third dimension, fourth dimension, and go on to a 5th dimension, because you're expanding. Your knowledge become wider. Not only that, your knowledge, your whole body. Now you can create things just like that. Now you can move from here to there, and just like that, just in a thought. That's the evolution of who we really are and what we're capable of doing. But we will not get there if we're in fear and hate. We won't get there if we're fair, and we were there, this earth, at one point until we fell. There was a golden age. There was a time when we shared the cosmos with every bait, until every you know being, until we fell in our energy, in our vibration. And it's been a long transition. It doesn't happen like that. It's slowly happening. Just like how we're now slowly getting out of this three dimension, as they call it, vibration, energy. And so here's another thing that I want you to know about energy, is that your energy is being used. Our energy, especially ours as people of color, is being used. I should have queued this up, but I didn't think of it until now to share with this. But I'll talk about it now, but I'll share it into another video. But if you're really into spirituality, you know about the pineal gland. Now, before they used to thought about the pineal gland as nothing, just like the same thing that they talk about all this DNA, they call it a junk DNA. No, those DNA are there for a purpose. They're there for you to awaken them. Now, you cannot awaken your DNA if you are in hate and fear and all this stuff that you're doing. All right, just give me a moment here. Okay, so pretty much is like I was saying, you just can't. Your DNA has got to be in a line. Your body, your system, your who you are now has got to align with the new you. And as that change, your DNA unlocks. Everything that you're experiencing is always changing your DNA, and you're always shifting from a segment of space and time, a timeline over and over, and so you're always changing. But also, so if you're listening to mostly, say, religious stuff, religious music, and good music, and the feel good stuff all the time, your DNA is going to change. You're going to resonate differently. But if you're constantly listening to hate, and things of that nature, that is going to change your DNA, and you're going to resonate on that level. I don't know how many of you have seen the experiment that was done in regarding to the doctor or scientist who did the experiment where he had water and he played music with the water, over the water, and then he frees them, and then you can see the patterns in the water before he played the music and after he played the music. Now, don't remember that, what is it, 80% or 70 something percent of your body is made of water. So whatever you're feeding your body is what is going to resonate in your overall experience, and your DNA will change to accommodate that. So you have to be very careful what you're constantly listening to. That's why there needs to be a balance within you, and what you're listening throughout the day. So if you are doing experiments, say research on certain things all day, you need to stop at a certain point and then start to feed yourself good things to kind of offset that. Because then you're going to start developing where you're angry and you're frustrated. I've seen that happen with me when I was doing a research on and I got overwhelmed with a bunch of information, and I started to see myself change a little bit in regarding to that. So I had to just like back off for a little bit and just trying to get back that peace that I had, that inner peace. So anyway, we're all one. We all came from the same source. No matter what they try to tell you, we are all one. I don't care if you are a blue, purple alien that came out of the sky. That person is related to us. We are all one. That person is still a part of us. They're a part from the same God, source energy. We are all one. As simple as that. Now, how did I come to my oneness? Now, I have always born with a certain awareness that um, I wasn't from here. Okay, those are what some people call star seeds. Okay, it's that time. Oh my gosh. And I am not the only person that's here that's like this. There's a lot of other people that, whatever they call crystal, human angel, whatever, that are here with a sense of like not just knowing that they're not from here, okay, and knowing certain things instantly, like they know that there is a source energy. They just know that there's a oneness. They have a certain insight that most people don't have. And that's another topic. I don't really want to get into that. But supposedly they are here to hold the frequency of love, because the human race was getting into an area where they just was straying very far away from love. And so this was an effort to bring them back into a higher vibration. Okay, so therefore there had to be a balance here. Anyway, so for me, I again, when I started to get back into my awakening, and I started to meditate a lot. And I had some friends staying with me at the time, these two gentlemen, and I would meditate, and most of the time when I meditate, I would just keep my eyes closed and just stay in that awesomeness, that that wonderful, quiet, just awesome feeling for as long as I could before I opened my eyes. And this time I did that, and then I got up, and even when I got up, I still had my eyes shut, and I was just basking in that feeling, that awesome feeling that I was feeling. And I slowly opened my eyes, and as I opened my eyes, the most remarkable thing happened. I just felt everything. I heard everything. Everything was sharp, extra sharp to my senses. I felt the walls, the earth. I was one. I was everything. And everything was me. And I knew that, but yet still everything was separate. It was just such an awesome feeling. I mean, I felt like I could be like 1,000 things. And I was. Like all at the same time, separately. And it's just an awesome feeling. I can't explain it. You just have to experience it yourself. But you do not have to have that experience to realize that we are all one, to come to that recognition, realization that we're all one. You don't have to. So in any way, I'm actually getting ready I'm going to show you a little bit of video of this gentleman. I'm probably going to have to make part 2 into this, of this gentleman who's from my hometown, my country. And I like the way he says this. I figured just hearing it from a different perspective will help a little bit, because I know I'm not the only person of color that believe in oneness, and that has become enlightened. I think that maybe there need to be more of us. Okay, I feel, I always said that when Trump said that black people were going to be the one most affected, he wasn't talking about coronavirus. He was talking about our spirituality. He was talking about the shift over, because most of us are not. We're just filled, especially at American blacks, are just filled with so much hate, and they're still focusing on the same thing over and over. And in order for us to move forward, we have to get out of that mindset. It's not about being weak. You take so much strength for you to move forward from hate and to move into love and forgiveness. Okay, I'm going to let you listen to this gentleman here before I run out of more time. Alright then, here we are. So, here's this gentleman, and he's awesome. I like the way that he talks, and I can tell that he believes in what he's saying, that he somehow have felt the oneness. I just or experience it somehow, some way. I can just tell his face, everything about him just glowing with enlightenment. So I'm going to let you listen to him and see what you think. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? When I do this, I know it's going, but I think it's because of the weather here. See its thing there, and I think it's because of the weather here that's causing that. Alright, well,
it's to our melody. People all around the world feel like joy is a blessing. It's an honor to be out in nature, bringing a message of emancipation to you, a message that will set you free and teach you how to get rid of all mental slavery by teaching you how to look inwardly and to be always grateful, because all is energy, vibration and frequency. That's the reason why I'm pointing you to get onto the frequency of our ancestors, especially people like Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia, Neville Goddard mentor. That's the reason why I want to speak to you concerning Abdullah taught Neville Goddard the law of divine oneness. And you see, many times when I introduce myself and greet melanated people, there are so many people around the world who get caught up in the system of the world and the way how the system of the world want them to think that everything have to be about politics, religion, race, or higher education. And so many fail to look even a little bit more deeply and listen to what is being basically said. Now, if there's a people that are lacking something, and you know what is that something, and you're true to yourself, deep within, you want to help, because you come to realize that we are all one, and that there's only one universal consciousness and one universal power. All of us are using one power, which is mind power. Everything starts in the mind. Everything first mental. Everything was first a thought. So this law of divine oneness is not only on the side, but on the physical side also.
all right. I'm going to interject here for a minute, but yes, that is one of the things that I mean, I've always been knew about the mind. Ever since I was young, I was always telling my mom, I said, people they're so stupid. They spend all this time focusing on work and focusing on this and that, but yet still they don't spend time developing their mind, and that's where the power is. That where the true essence, or true essence lie. And when I started work myself, I always prayed that I wouldn't lose my true self and my true love. But still, as I grew up a little bit, I started to get like a lot of people where you're talking about work, but I was still the same me. And once I started to get the call back, and I was reading the Bible a lot, and just looking into any kind of spiritual teachings and so forth, and just meditating a lot. I remember one time reading, and I was in my room, and I went to the bathroom, and it was in Genesis, and my spirit just said to me, "Hey, remember that the part about where God says, and the Bible says, and he said, it's not that he said. He said with his thought. He thought it, and so it is. Whatever he thought became, and so is the same thing with us, with me. Whatever I thought, whatever I think is. So whatever you think, the moment that you think something, it is. The moment that you think something, you already created it. Okay? Now with your feelings and your emotion, now if you thought something, say for instance, if you thought something like really good, like say you wanted a lover, and you were thinking about being with a lover, walking down the street, holding their, that person's hand, and just having a really great time, and that's what really you would like to see in your life, okay? And you had that thought. Now that thought is out of your mind. However, you keep the feeling of being with that person. You continue to feel that way. You continue to feel happy about having that person in your life. Okay, that is, say like you're sewing a machine. I use this one. Now you're sewing a machine. You're sewing a cloth. You have a cloth. This is the fabric. It's already, thing there. But in order to actually make it manifest into your life, that cloth, you already have it cut out. You have the shape. So now you got to sew it. The machine is your feelings, and you're going to use that machine you're going to keep pumping that feeling and sew that cloth. So that emotion is that. Hold on. Okay, well, I hope you didn't hear that. That was my little dogs. My dogs running back and forth, barking. But in any case, so yes, so that is the feeling. Your feeling is the one that drives the machine to manifest, to bring forward what is it that your desire. So it is very important that we keep our emotions, we keep our feeling good, happy, that we become mindful of our emotion and our thoughts together. So if we keep thinking about the white man is doing this, the white man is this person, and we are angry, guess what we're going to manifest over and over and over. And the people that don't mean us well, and it's not all white people, it's just a certain group of people that are in power that really don't like any of us, and they put each other against us. So we're all in the same, bag here, if you want to put it nicely. So yes, so for them, they want to keep us in anger, in hate, in pain, being against each other, because that's the vibration that they want to continue to have manifest over and over. So when you get a hold of this knowledge, and you get a hold of that, you become very mindful of your thought. You become very mindful of your emotions, your feeling, and what you do, because all of it plays into action. Your thought, your emotion, and what you do. Everything goes hand in hand. But the thought comes first. The thought starts there. That is where everything is created first, and then now you have to bring that into your reality. Now, as we progress and as we evolve, like the way some environments are already, we may call them aliens, once they think of something, it manifests right away, because they're at a higher level that there's no delay, because their whole environment is radiating and vibrating on that same frequency of love. So it's going to manifest faster. So anyway, let you just listen to him. I probably need to stop and just continue on another one, because I really don't want you to get bored with it here and just I don't know, I'm the kind of person, when I hear something that I really like, I can actually listen to it.
And then on the spiritual side, we see that we all have to use one creative power, which is the power of imagining. Therefore, your greatest asset is your mind. Your greatest biggest wealth is your mind.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to stop there for now, and I'm going to continue another part two of this, of oneness. So keep that in mind. And I've been saying this actually, especially lately, before I even saw this video, and to say that our greatest, and our energy is the greatest, our energy is the greatest resources that we have here. It's our thought, our mind. You know, they say that we're going to be fighting a battle of a spiritual battle, and that's what it is, a spiritual body of the mind. So all the stuff that's going on the internet, and all this fake flags, and all the stuff that that is to manipulate you mentally. So in manipulating your mind energy, now they're manipulating the energy that's around us. So they have figured out a way how to manipulate the energy, okay, of the collective to get what they want. Now, imagine the people waking up and now and now have knowledge that if they can, whatever they think, they can have. And if as a one collective, if they think of peace and love and so forth, then that's what we will have. Okay? I don't know about you, but I'm really, we've tried love, we've tried hate, we've tried war, we've tried anger and all this stuff. And where has it gotten us? Nowhere. So wouldn't it be just a change, just to try to give peace, love and peace a chance? You know, there's a saying that if we keep doing the same, a sign of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over and over and getting the same result. Well, we've been doing the same thing over and over and getting the same result, and we're still doing it. It's time to change. It's time to let love in. It's time to let love out, because you are love. Okay? You have been robbed. You have been deceived. You have been used of your energy for evil. Take that power back and use it for good, for all of us as a collective, to have a utopian society. Wouldn't it be nice for all of us just to work together to build a society without money? I mean, say for instance that we just get up and, you know, and they say every year, maybe every however long, but you get the choice of picking something that you would like to contribute. I mean, that you supposed to do. Like, it's like having a house, and we all have a chore. Okay, this one do the dishes this time, the other one do that, and we switch and we turn around. It'll be like the same thing. Like, say for instance, we do have like a police force. You would train for that if you were interested in that as the thing that you do to contribute to the society. You do it for 4 hours each day, and then the rest of the time you use to, not each day, but say 3, 4 times a day, and the rest of the times you use to focus on the things that you actually in your spirituality for one, and towards whatever it is that your heart desires. Like if you want to be an artist, if you want to be a singer or performer, or if you want to be a scientist, or if you want to explore outer space, whatever it is. But at least there is a time when you have to at least contribute some time. And nothing is, everything that you want is available to you. Your food. In fact, you grow your own garden. Certain things we make, but everything is available to you. We can actually go by maybe certain credits or whatever can, but it's not socialism, it's not anything, but everything is available. We're working together to build one society. Okay? It's like when you have a home and you buy food and you bring it home, right? Everybody's entitled, everybody gets it, right? Same thing. We farm, food is there, but we have to get on. We have to get away from eating meat. Eating meat is not in balance with nature. So unfortunately, if you're hooked on that meat, that's not going to be the society for you. That's another story. But just, you do not have to have an experience like I did to know and believe in oneness. Okay? All right, I'm going to stop here, and thank you guys for stopping by, and please be supportive of each other, and you can subscribe and press like. Thank you for viewing, and you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. Thank you. Much love and peace.
So when you understand this
Oh.
divine oneness and understand that we all connect, because all is energy, you will also come to realize that energy cannot be destroyed or created, but it can be transformed. So you come to realize that all of us have the one power that we can use to transform our lives.
All right, so thank you again, and have a wonderful day.